I'm Ruthie, she, they, and I play Sentinel, she, they.
I'm Will, he, him, and I play Moxie, she, her.
I'm Imi, she, her, and I play Ahmaya, also she, her.
I'm Steve, he, him. I play Ora, he, him.
I'm Sarah, she, her, and I play Freya, she, her.
Hi, I'm Mike, he, him, and I'm playing Eugene Ballantyne, he, him.
I'm Charlie, he, him, and I'm your DM. I'm gonna drink my tea and then we go.
Can I address this? Before we left, I saw Matt put 2 tea bags in there.
I'm sorry.
Then put in milk, and then he made me put the hot water on top of the milk and
I was
tea
in a
bags.
rush.
I feel sick.
Okay, the tea bags are still in there. It was a rush.
So tepid.
Who's Matt?
Sorry, Charlie.
Right.
Charlie did a disgusting thing today.
You're a bad man.
It's
almost like when Will
You're
got
not
it.
disgusting.
It's almost like when Will got one of the 4 things of Kit Kat and just bit into it like a fucking animal.
Get out.
Actually, I'm not surprised. I'm really not
That's
surprised.
only a recent thing as well.
I'm not surprised.
Fucking heathen, get out of my house.
Sent into the assumed explored cliffs of the Cragmore, to the far south of the Glass Desert, our heroes had drafted themselves into the hunter-scavengers to find lost riches, and instead they found themselves digging through empty tomb after empty tomb until mutiny stirred within the unit. However, you soon discovered a tomb of corrupted husks, the normally docile, wandering corpses of the once great Salnari people, but they were taken over by something you found out from a strange desert wise woman to be called the Gnarl. Caused by a warped remnant piece of one of the gods' firstborn, dug up by the Salnari people's prophet, only to infect both him and his followers. Following the drawings you scavenged, you found the Nunlakium, a tomb designed by Aranar, a Salnari survivor, to try and kill the gnarled husks. It was here you confronted the Captain Askeil, and he revealed that Duke Gaspar and had his family held hostage, and in order to free them, he had to find a special coil stone in the Cragmore, one that was left behind. But you all had your debts, and with Gaspar now yourselves, your marks that conscripted you into this one excursion. You trekked southwest along the edge of the Cragmore to the place where the drystorm haunted the horizon. It was in there that rested the final location you were aware of. A great archway made from the same ancient glass that Salnari built many of their tombs on top of. And Eskeil's shardwork compass seemed to agree. After a couple of days, you stumbled across a crashed sand skimmer. You rescued the 2 crew members, Yori and Tin, from the circling Kazels. They informed you that they'd been attacked by a group of hunter-scavengers you thought to be Jakob and Korg's group that had split from your own. After you helped them patch up the skiff, Yori offered to take you where you wished to go and would wait there with as many of your people as you could spare, making more repairs and waiting as long as they could. The sand skimmer soared over the dunes, descending and launching up to glide. It was low, but it was high enough for a breathtaking ride. Arriving in the midday sun as far into the storm as possible, you took only Cade and Eskeil with you, guided by the painting depicting this Eramani and Eskeil's compass. You set off through the crags once more, this time straight into the drystorm itself. Rising as one with the cliff was a towering, glassy archway, and before it, centered on a stone circle, was a skeletal, transparent tree. With inconsistent flashes, the sapling illuminated the archway, and you ran for it, sprinting across the last opening between you and the archway. Sentinel heading up the rear. Lightning crashed nearby once, twice, and just as you reached the echoing maw of the Eramani, a third strike lanced down, crashing where Sentinel stood a moment before and searing her back, leaving her smoking, but alive.
I was always smoking.
Then, just as you gathered your thoughts, a docile husk that was standing in a nook out of sight grabbed Ahmaya. Its mouth opened, splitting dry skin, and a voice echoed from it, warding you away from this place, before it let you go, and then stumbled back into the archway. And that is where we'll start.
Forgot that happened.
I thought I'd give you the big one because it's been a while.
Yeah. It's a bit creepy.
Yeah. So, yeah, Sentinel was looking suitably frazzled.
My ass!
You you okay? Like, how hurt are you?
Like half dead.
Do you want to do the honours or shall I?
Would it be okay? I'm
Oh,
still
I don't mind, I've
tired,
got-
you know.
Do I have spell slots? I can't remember what we did last time. No, I think I'm fine.
I think
I'm good.
I mean, I have
So
all
yeah,
of
I
them,
give you a sweet, this sort of a dark green sweet. You try it, and it's sort of a real strong menthol flavour. And I cast Cure Wounds on you, and you heal for 11 health.
While that's
Very
happening,
nice.
I've taken out my little book that I carry with me and I'm just fanning Sentinel's butt to try and cool you down a bit.
Wafting some smoke about.
Yeah. Is this helping? Ow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh no.
I mean, I suppose
Are
in
you
theory, if you
rolling?
do that enough with enough heat, you would actually start
Are we
a
being
fire.
too loud?
Don't be
it
silly,
dark
there's
in-
no fire. This is only
it
wind.
dark
That doesn't
inside?
start fire.
In the archway,
smoke.
you guys are about 10, 20 feet inside the archway. When you look deeper in, it's completely dark. And in that moment, there is a crash of thunder again outside, but you can't see quite where it strikes.
Did we see whether the Husker's gone inside?
Yes, it walked. You didn't. It wasn't sneaking at all, but when it went into the darkness, you lost sight of it.
Can I hear it? Like, how far?
Probably.
What's your passive again? 21. You can hear what sounds like descending down steps, sort of clumsily.
Go down.
So it told us to go away, and then it's going downstairs.
I mean, I guess we're
So we
not
should
going to
leave
go
then.
away.
I mean, we came all this way.
I mean, both paths seem
It's not
quite
really-
scary.
What can we see, like, outside?
So if you look outside, you can see in the distance the sort of rocky forest that you came from. There's a bit of an open expanse, and the close to you on that open expanse is a flat circle of rock. There is a sort of a collection of rocks around it that look a bit like a henge, and in the middle of that there is a single glass tree that is pulsing with a light.
Yeah. So who had the furniture spell?
We talked about because I identified. I don't know who has it.
Was it Moxie?
I think
No,
I think
you've got
Steve
it.
took it.
Oh yeah, you take all the stuff and don't tell us
Did you not
about
give it to anyone yet? Do we not
No,
even know about that?
No,
I identified
Who's
it. I didn't
Steve?
give it.
I gave it to Eugene to
Oh, fuck.
identify.
He's rolling. I was just wondering if we should just send someone out there to.
But wait, I believe
to
with
the
this
chairs.
scroll, we still need some furniture to animate and.
Right.
There's a chair.
Are we
that,
next to-
in that moment, another lightning strike. This time you can see it. It's a bit closer, but it interrupts your conversation.
Is it just
We
an
need to go
archway, or is
in.
there a room like?
So when who was it that was looking after the husk? Freya. You could hear stairs. Anyone with a passive perception over, I would say, 12.
Not me.
You can hear this husk sort of stumbling down. You heard them sort of stumbling down steps, but it's heavily obscured in there. It's dark.
We need to get a move
Is the
on.
lightning getting closer to us? Like,
Roll. No, I mean no. It doesn't seem to be. It seems pretty
I
random.
was just wondering if it was
Are
fun.
there any?
Yeah,
Are
that's
there
what I
any
was thinking.
stones or anything on the floor? Just loose little ones.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'll just pick one up, cast light on it, and throw it in the direction we had the husk moving.
Cool.
Just light up the
Yeah, so this very, I mean, it's a smooth desert stone. There's lots of sand everywhere collecting like drifts up against the walls. You grab a stone and it starts glowing and it soars through the air when you throw it. You can see the glass sides continue deeper and deeper and deeper until it turns to rock, this carved rock, and then clang, it hits the stone floor, clang, hits the staircase, and the staircase seems to just drop away, and then it hits a wall.
I have a question. How loose is your description of furniture? Like a comfortable floor is furniture to a man who has nothing.
I would say
You're not wrong.
furniture. Okay, let's go this way. So, it was the creator's definition of furniture, and in your knowledge of the creator, assuming that it's Aranar, was that he had a bed, he had a desk, he had a chair. So that's what you would assume.
Can we agree not to ask questions of any beds?
Oh, yeah. Let's agree that right now. Kill me. Right, should we just go, should we stealth down these stairs? Nice, gentle.
Stealth, you say?
Wait, have we experienced any sentient husks before?
Nope.
Didn't you say it seemed like something was possessing it? Like it was like a...
Amaya, it was sort of talking in your face, right?
Yeah, it was
so
disgusting.
Amaya would probably... You would sort of say... It sounded like someone talking through it because it was coming out of it. It wasn't talking.
So it wasn't talking, it was just going...
Yes.
And then...
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Lightning strikes the tree and...
Oh no.
Freya, you hear, you feel static all over your skin, and you can smell copper and petrichor that smell when rain finally falls on dry ground.
Yeah, everyone knows what petrichor is.
Cool.
We've all seen that Doctor Who episode.
Amaya didn't know that, and neither did the person playing her.
You hear a voice echoing around the space, and it's wordless.
So is it a noise then?
Only Freya can hear this.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's a bad question.
I only asked because you said a voice echoes around but it doesn't say any words.
Yeah. Whether it's in a language
exactly,
you
a
can't
noise.
understand, or the words just seem like you should understand them but you can't.
Almost like someone saying the megalodon is too bright in their sleep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Apparently so. She could just be making shit up though.
I want to touch the tree.
Alright, okay, I'm
Don't go
going
in
to...
it.
Okay, question.
Are you just
Charlie.
saying? Are you just saying this is Freya saying this out of the blue? Just like, oh, I touched the tree.
Charlie. Okay. Is the lightning a creature?
I can categorically say no.
What about
So
furniture?
I couldn't cast Sanctuary to give Freya some extra safety.
What does the spell exactly say? From a creature attacking, is it?
A creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On the failed save, the creature must choose a different target or lose the attack or spell. But it doesn't save the creature from area of effect. But
Because it's. I think if it was anything that was associated with wisdom as a save, and also it is completely random.
Okay.
Who it is, I don't think it would apply. If you've got any spells that can help with dexterity, though.
no.
Okay.
No, I don't. I can cast Bane on it. But I don't think that'd work.
Bane the storm.
Bane the whole fucking storm. I could come with you and, be your protector.
So, hang on, do you say that
fucking
you want to
yeet
go
you
and
out of the
touch
way.
the tree out
I
loud?
want to touch the tree.
You say it out loud.
I should touch the tree. Someone give
alright.
I don't know
Let's
if
go.
it's safe. Are you sure?
I just feel in my bones that I can't touch the tree.
I'm coming with you, and if something's coming for you, I'm going to push you out the way.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
What does it look like? I've never cast this before.
I do not understand why you both want to go out there and touch that tree that's just been struck by lightning.
I don't want to, but I'm not letting her go out there by herself.
So it's a shimmering field, but I imagine it's got little veins of lightning around.
Yeah, that's cool.
You ready? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Please
I'm
do
not
not
letting you go out
descend
there on
into
your
this
own.
madness.
Do you wanna give me? Does it take time to learn a spell?
Yes.
Thing like ages.
And money, I think, as well.
All right, fine, never mind.
I'm just gonna go talk to a chair.
Oh, you mean the scroll?
Yeah.
You can cast this. I'm pretty sure that if it's I think you said learn. Sorry. To cast from a scroll, no. You can if you can cast spells. I think even if you can't cast spells, you can use them.
Does it use the scroll though?
Yes.
It's one
Okay.
use.
It destroys the scroll.
Excuse me. And is a tree of...
Not the tree. Although you could sit on a tree, so I reckon it could be furniture.
Right.
Just saying. But those
are
are
made out of
definitely
wood.
seats.
Can Will's
so they
character
would
go on the tree
qualify.
and just go, tree wizard?
True wizard.
So, do you
And he
want to
fixed the balloon.
Do you want to give me the scroll? Can you cast spells? Do you want to do it? You're good at talking.
I'm also good at talking.
What do you want me? You talk to the furniture, right?
What do you want me to say to the furniture?
I don't know. Ask what it is. Like who put it here?
Okay, fine. Right. Is everyone happy with us using the scroll to talk to this fucking chair?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, just to clarify, guys.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So you,
That's not a chair.
who's going to be casting? Who's going to be using the scroll? Sorry.
I was gonna.
Me.
Okay, so you would. I'm going to tell you. So I don't want to trick you or anything. You know, it takes an action to cast. It lasts an hour, up to an hour. You can ask it up to 5 questions.
Does it only work on one piece of furniture?
It says any piece of furniture.
So you can talk to all the chairs.
So to be clear, if I've got 5 questions, is it 5 questions so I could ask those 5 questions to 5 separate?
It's poorly worded, but it's designed one question, one furniture, 5 questions.
Right, yeah. That's what we were trying to get.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so a single piece of furniture, 5 questions, and it can answer basic questions about its origin, history, past owners. Unless the object is already sentient, it cannot lie.
Right, so let's work out what we want to ask it first, because I'm not fucking around. Because if I'm going to be out there in lightning...
And it lasts an hour, so you can pick it up.
We've got to
and
do
just...
it quick.
I mean, is this chair fixed to the ground, or can it be moved quite easily? Does it look like
the rubble that is was once chair? Because you guys are looking at the stone circle, right?
Oh,
you saw you remember in your painting that there were chairs in a circle outside, right? I'm happy to remind you of that. It was 3 weeks ago, but. At this point,
sorry, I'm so confused. I thought there was a chair out there that we were speaking about it.
Those once chair-shaped stones are now sort of ruined.
So there's no chairs.
So there's no point. What we're gonna do?
I'm not saying no. You can try.
They're chairs.
Obviously, it's one use though. So, but you can.
Yeah, but you can keep doing it for an hour with other things.
No, that's the point.
One piece of furniture.
One piece of furniture. That's the problem.
That would be such a powerful.
Talking about this.
These are
Why did you give us the scroll? It's too powerful.
Relevant chairs.
You can just go around for an hour. Touching any of this.
Can I light up the
Freya.
sword and wander around the room and look for any other furniture that's not?
I don't think we're not in a room yet, are we?
We're just under an archway, right?
You guys are just standing in the archway about.
We're gonna
Looking at some stones that may or may not be
What's going on,
chairs.
guys? What are you
Okay,
doing?
we want to know how long.
You may as well just touch a tree at this stage.
Should we go and touch the tree?
Let's just go and touch the
Freewheel
fucking
with the-
tree.
Oh god!
We're going to touch the tree. We're going to touch the tree, and then we're coming back.
Okay, just as you say that, lightning strikes, but it's out of sight. You
Is
hear
there a
it.
time period or is it random?
Roll an intelligence check.
Which one? Which one is good?
Actually,
my God.
roll a nature check. Maybe that's a bit better.
I don't think it's going to be better.
Is it natural, or is it magical? That's not bad.
14.
Okay. I would say, also to answer Ruthie, it doesn't seem natural.
Sick.
And yes, you know that even though it's random, after one strike, there's rarely another strike within 30 seconds to a minute.
Because we
usually
did
longer
work
than
out
that.
the timing of it when we did the thing. So let's run. We can come back, and if we still, when we're done, or if we're lost, we can... that rubble, those chairs aren't going fucking anywhere. We can come back and we can cast it on the chairs then. But you want to go touch this tree?
I want to...
So let's go to the tree.
Just to hold me to this, guys, I would say 30 seconds at that point, there's a chance there might be a strike. That's what you've deduced.
We should drop our metal things. If I know anything from Breath of the Wild.
Okay. We will drop our metal things. I will doff my metal things.
Okay.
As I see you dropping metal stuff, I'm like,
Take my
nodding.
bra off.
Yeah.
The underwire.
Do you have a bra?
No.
Just the wire.
I'm bandages, bitch. Fucking those titties are taped down. Alright, Demi woman.
You ready?
Right, we're gonna go touch a tree. She's gonna go touch a tree and be with children in nature.
Okay. When are you going?
Are you going to go touch the
We're
wood?
going to wait for one to strike,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then we're going to go immediately after.
Okay.
I'm staying here.
I'm basically going, and if there looks like when she makes her dexterity save, don't do this because I'm telling you what's happening. This is rude. And I'm gonna push her out the way if there's one that looks like it's coming towards her. So I'm basically help action to shove if needs be.
Okay, you would lose if you had to move, that would be an automatic failure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We're gonna die running to the tree.
Okay.
You wanted to touch the tree! You need to touch the tree!
And just as Freya says that, another lightning strike. Okay, you sprint across the clearing. It was about 60 feet, I think it said.
Okay.
So you get there within a round.
That's 6 seconds. Touch the tree, bitch!
Wait.
I'm gonna lose
The tree, as you. Okay.
Worst day of my life.
As you get close, you see that this tree is made of pure glass that seems to be cast out of something, a bit like something you would have known about is when lightning strikes sand and it creates these patterns in the sand out of glass. It's like that, but it's standing upright and it's softly pulsing.
Touch the tree.
Go on.
Hurry up.
God, is it like if I put my hand close to it, is there like heat coming off it? Or like electricity?
There's no heat, but there is a static on your arm. You can smell, and Sentinel can smell this now as well. It's that copper, that petrichor, the smell of ozone. Really
Touch the
strongly.
tree.
I touched the tree.
Okay.
Great.
Can I have a wisdom saving throw, please?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Actually, I'll tell you what.
Do I also need to make
As you touch the tree, that voice returns, still wordless, but it's like something talking to you through a barrier, a muffled voice. You can.
She might be onto something.
It's like it's trying to speak to you. If you choose to sort of try and listen, then you can auto fail the wisdom save, or you can try and resist whatever is going on the moment you touch the tree.
I'm gonna have to carry her ass back. And I have 0.
I am going to try and listen to it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Does anyone have any popcorn?
Came this way, we ran to the tree. Do it.
Your head swims with that smell, crisp and burnt, and everything goes dark.
Oh, fuck.
Sentinel, she doesn't move. She's still standing there.
Okay, cool.
Your eyes are closed, and you can feel them now that they're closed. And you can't feel the tree. It's like you're just standing there with your eyes closed.
How long's it been?
Can I open my eyes?
Yeah. You are standing where you were a moment ago in the archway. Everyone's there, except that everyone is motionless. Sentinel's there, smoking a little bit. Ora has begun walking in the direction of he's got his sword raised. Did you say you cast his sword?
on it.
But everyone is frozen and motionless.
Sorry, you forgot that I'm fanning Sentinel.
Sentinel is being fanned.
Did you run out as well?
Maya's
No, I'm back in the thing.
Oh, fair enough. Sorry,
This
I
is
thought
when
you were.
I was. This is when my ass was on fire.
Fair enough.
Freya's gone back in time, basically.
Back in time. Yeah, wow, it's impressive. Time travel.
Outside, the sky is darker than it was before. The glass tree is blindingly bright. Like someone casting light back in the dorms in the middle of the night. It's so bright, it's almost hurting your eyes.
Oh god.
What did you do?
Can I still, can I hear anything? Can I hear the voice?
No, you can hear a very faint echo coming from the tree, and you can hear a faint sort of sound of wind coming from within the archway. And that's it.
Yeah, I'm not touching the tree right now.
You're inside the archway again.
Oh, okay. Can I walk out to the tree again?
Yeah. Okay.
This is Groundhog Day.
Yeah. There's no wind. There's no wind. As you look up, the storm is completely still. In fact, you can see that the clouds and the sand are moving very, very, very slowly. And the sand still shifts underfoot, and as you approach the stone circle of stumps, this sapling gets brighter. And as you continue to approach, you don't feel any heat, but you hear this ringing sound from the tree. And close as you are now, when your eyes adjust as far as they can, you can see it's made from millions and upon millions of layers. And at the tip of each thin branch is a speed of almost frozen lightning that's sort of warbling as it's growing another layer. And static starts sort of shooting from the tree to you. It doesn't hurt. And the ringing gets louder.
Oh boy. It doesn't hurt.
No.
Keep walking towards it.
Okay.
Who are you?
At your voice, the ringing gets louder for a moment, like someone hitting a tuning fork, and then it slowly fades again.
How far away am I from the tree?
However far you want to be.
Oh boy. Yeah, can I reach out
Yeah, you're going to touch the tree again?
and try and touch one of the filaments?
Yeah. As you reach out,
Oi!
this filament jumps, and in that moment, hundreds of these threads leap from the tree and touch you, and then the moment you feel the static shock you, the tree shatters. Fragments freeze in the middle of the air, and they turn twinkling like chimes, and slowly they start forming a shape, arms, legs, a cloak of glistening shards that reaches out for you, and the ringing morphs into a word, Freya, and the fragments shoot into you towards the center of your ribcage, and then you see nothing for a brief moment, and then your sight is tearing back towards the archway. You race through past the frozen people at the center that you know, down the staircase, through a large chamber filled with cloaked statues and a maze of tunnels. You fly through corridors, past husks, and you dive down through the stone floor. Darkness becomes you, but you know you're still moving, you're still cutting through the ground like a bird through a cloud. You hear your name again, the voice like crashing water and rock and thunder, and then you see something deep and hidden, a nook where a sphere rests on a dust-covered altar, and it's covered in a shell of accreted stone, and through it pulses a light. With each slow, laborious beat, it dimly illuminates this small room, and then a crack opens it, dust falling from a straight line about its center, and you hear a clear intake of breath. And then you open your eyes, and you're standing in front of the tree, Sentinel.
How long's it been?
No time at all.
Right, okay, cool.
I know where we need to go.
Back in?
Go.
Let's go!
Okay, I won't let you roll on your lightning. You're instantly. Yeah,
because
exactly.
it would have been
like
12
seconds. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, around that.
18 at most.
Okay, so you run back into the archway.
Are you hurt?
No. We go down.
Cool.
Did you have some form of vision to know that?
You could say that. I'm fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Amaya's already
You heard
started
the woman.
walking off with her sword,
Yeah, Ora,
No
you would,
nonsense. Let's go.
if you were wandering ahead, by the time they came back, you'd be able to see a set of stairs that descends down deeper into the cliff, and then it stops. And there's a wall, and either side of you are looped back around another a switchback set of stairs that then goes beneath the first set.
Do I remember that route?
Yes.
Right?
You past the next room. It's a bit fuzzy because you were sort of thrown down and through the floor. So, but you remember this.
Okay.
Do you tell us about your vision?
I kind of just point ahead, like I know where we're going.
Yeah.
I saw the way.
I'll just
Let's go.
follow her directions and hold the sword that's lit up ahead
Okay.
of us to light the way and keep an eye out for anything trap-wise, dangerous.
Okay.
Hazards.
What's your marching order then?
I'll be towards the front because I just
Okay.
went off, so probably near Ora.
Amaya and Ora at the front.
I'll probably be taking up the rear again then.
I mean, I'll be at the front.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you three at the front, yeah. And then
The middle squad.
Yeah, that
cool,
Where's
nice.
Cade and Eskil?
Yeah, so
them.
Where's your man?
Eskil is sort of silently. He'd take the middle as well. He's happy to walk the middle. He seems quiet, but he seems determined now. He's not.
Just because you don't want to do his voice.
No, I can tell. I was just describing what he's like. He seems more. I like it in his voice. He seems more determined. His hands aren't shaking anymore.
Good lad.
Cade, after the dash across the desert, that last part, he definitely seems more alert, and he even seems a little bit surprised, sort of shocked. He's lost that edge of sort of wry, constant scorn, and it's more now just sort of like, he seems alert to what you're all doing.
Cool.
Right down here then, is it?
He's waiting for that.
Yeah! That's my boy.
So yeah, you walk down the stairs.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor as we go down.
Nice.
How long
Okay.
does the shield last?
Like an hour, right?
10 minutes. That was
So you walk down this first set of stairs, you meet this wall, and then it switches back around both sides and descends down further.
Can we hear where the husk is anymore?
No.
No more Mr. Shambleman.
Does
No
it
more.
feel like the two ways come around and connect?
Yeah, you can see as you come down, they sort of come back together and they go down to the same landing. But I will say that as you're descending that first set of stairs, who doesn't have dark vision? Do you all have dark vision?
Oh, dark vision.
Okay. Eskil does not.
Oh,
You have
but you've got light, right?
I've got light up.
Okay,
BD,
that's
yeah,
fine
that's
then.
true.
Because it is dark, it's pitch black. Eskil, he takes out a torch and lights it as well.
We've been
I
stealthy.
mean, what is light?
We're trying to be
It's
stealthy.
I suppose we've got light up.
20-foot bright light.
But maybe
and
not
dim
sound
light
makes
around.
Yeah, we're not like
I think
running.
it's the same as a torch, yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying not to make like loads of noise, but the
Here
light's
comes
different.
Aura. Clunk, 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 clunk.
Clonk, 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 clonk.
So are you stealthing or are you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, roll stealth checks. Red for Eskil.
It wasn't quite 2020.
No,
Oh my god, I
you
got
don't want
a
anyone to
natural
watch
that's
it.
alright. That helps.
21. But natural.
Not bad.
8.
Well
I'm so stealthy right now.
21.
Filled with glorious purpose.
Nice.
4.
Okay.
16.
Dirty, filthy 13.
Okay. That was the DC.
Oh my god.
Oh, amazing.
What?
So you got natural 20.
Natural 20, okay.
so that covers the
you guys
stage.
easily. The Eskil and Cade, they both follow suit. They start
focused
walking
on the
down
dangerous things
suitably
on the
sneaky as well. So as you descend the second switchback set of stairs, you step into a dark room that is about 100 feet wide. It's mainly open space, but in the middle, ahead of you, are two walls that seem to be maybe the external walls of inner rooms, of smaller rooms inside this larger room. And you also see statues across every wall, just people standing as statues.
Like regular people or like deities?
As you step in, you can probably see the ones that are in front of, even they're in front of these two smaller walls as well, these inner rooms. They are Salnari people. They are in desert wraps. Most of them look very similar, if not identical statues. And you can see some of the features are slightly different, similar to Aranar's body that you saw with the sort of gecko-like features.
Do they look dusty?
Yes. Everything is covered in dust.
I want to go up to one closest to me and like go,
Yeah.
They all spring to life.
It's like dust just plumes out in front of you. And you're like,
Everything.
We're fucking
Are they
level 2. We don't
Another
care.
question. Are they in traditional statue poses?
They're all in. They're
One's
all
just
in.
flipping the bird.
Either arms together or crossed on their front. Some of them have their hands clasped in a sort of prayer.
One of them's just tweaking their
I was just wondering if it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Medusa situation, and they were like in the middle of doing things.
We are right. Maybe they all are in pretty peaceful poses, though. We'll say that.
So it's all around the outside.
Did you say if they were life-sized or like big?
They are.
They're life-sized. Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else in this room other than these statues?
Are you moving forward?
I'm in the back. I'm in the back. I'm waiting for someone else to make that
How
decision.
good's the light in this room? Like, we've got a torch and light out.
It's pitch black. Ahead of you, I would say it's probably about 50 feet ahead of you, down the middle of these two rooms. You can see a sort of 2 to 3 inch wide strip of very dim light just in front of you in the wall, almost like it could be a door ajar or something.
There's light beyond
jar?
it, that's worrying. Like daylight or artificial light? Is it flickering?
It's orange and flickering.
Daylight.
I ain't no LED.
Excellent.
For your 21 perception as well, everything is covered in dust except in the middle of some of the walkways there's more treaded pathways. So straight through the middle of these two inner rooms and around the outsides as well.
Are they clear footprints or are they like shuffly?
It's a bit of a mess. It's just less dust. Sort of like blended,
Clear pathways. So, okay, we should follow those pathways.
Yeah.
Don't step on the dusty areas.
So is that where your vision told you to go?
Did I see this room in my vision?
You did.
Did I go through the floor in it?
You saw, you sort of went through this room and through the doors and down, and then you went into the floor. Sort of after that door, you dived down into the floor.
Hopefully there's some
Yes,
sort of
this is awesome.
staircase that we have to go down then.
Hopefully.
So you guys at the moment are standing at the foot of this staircase.
Oh, there is a fine.
No, it's the one that you descended
Oh,
from.
fine, for a minute I was just like,
it's like 100 feet wide, 2 inner rooms, potentially a door ahead, and there's pathways around each inner room and one down the middle.
Do we go slowly, one person first, so we don't all get hurt?
Die?
Yes, that's
Would
probably sounds
anyone like
best.
to volunteer?
I'll go.
Okay, which way do you go?
Freya, which way am I going?
Wasn't I flying?
Yep.
You should
Jump.
D3 and decide.
Yeah. If they're all trodden
My fucking
around the sides
D3.
of
The only time that D3 will ever be used.
The D3. The Fool's D6.
How long were you using that?
Half a campaign.
Most of it.
About a
most
year
of it.
then.
Didn't you like give it to Matt because you didn't want anything to
Oh
do with
no,
it?
sorry,
ever
yeah, I
again?
got mad at you. I've given you that.
All right.
And it's another 3.
You just roll a d6 and divide by 2.
Fuck off with your maths.
2.
Okay, so middle.
You didn't assign that.
If you're going 1, 2,
It's not
3.
your call, what are you doing?
If you're saying 1, 2, 3, then middle.
Charlie's
Oh,
decided
fuck,
you're
yeah.
going through the middle.
It's like he wants us to go through the middle.
Okay.
I wouldn't listen to him.
You walk through the middle. As you walk between
Actually,
these
so I'd
two,
like to skip.
you skip between
Stealthily
these
though.
two.
Very
Stealthy
stealthily.
Do you skip or do you stealth?
I stealthily
Roll a
like to
stealth.
skip.
Roll a stealth check with disadvantage.
Why does skipping make it disadvantageous?
It's hopping about.
I will show you how I can skip silently.
Okay, you can do that after you've rolled stealth with disadvantage. You don't actually have
you
to
might be
skip.
alright.
I mean, you don't.
12.
Eat trash,
Okay.
eat trash. We gotta cut that out. That's from somewhere else.
You move between these two walls.
Why am I such an idiot?
There are statues lining every single
Combined
wall in this
with
room.
Style.
As you move down this middle pathway, you see 2 open archways in each room. So each room is just a small inner room. One side and the other side, and then you move straight ahead.
Yeah.
You can see the door ahead of you. It is a big. It's like
It's a jar. How'd I get it?
it's how tall is it? Sorry, I'm distracted.
Sorry.
It's a 7-foot door of stone. Meeting in the middle, there's about a 2-inch gap with some very faint firelight coming through. It's another 20 feet away from you if you're standing between the two rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And either side of the door, on the walls, are more of the Salnari statues.
Okay. I'm going to stop my skip and walk very respectfully up to the door and just knock.
Okay.
Yep, that reasonable.
She knocks on the door.
She knocks on every door.
Solid.
She's very polite.
solid stone, so it doesn't actually make too much noise.
Okay, then
It's
I
kinda
go,
like,
knock, knock, knock.
okay.
Imogen! I don't know who Imogen is.
I'm me.
You hear nothing.
Did you do the secret? If not,
Is she
You
still alive?
guys cannot see her because she
She's
is
not too far away.
I assume we
50
hear
feet
them.
away from you.
We hear the knock,
60
though,
feet
right?
dark vision.
Isn't it dim light out to 60 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see her, but it's like looking in night vision.
Yeah, it's like a silhouette.
Yes.
But do we hear the knock, though, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Well, she made it there.
I'll just I'll follow the same path.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I whisper back, guys, there's a door, but no one answered.
You see the two rooms as you all walk through. As you come out the other side, the pathways seem to meet in the central point. Yes. You don't have to raise your hand, but thank you.
I didn't want to disturb you again.
very
I didn't
polite
want
of
to
you.
be distracting.
Thanks.
Is there any of those pathways going into those rooms? So, like, you know how you said there was the bit where it's clear. Is there anything going into those rooms?
Those rooms, there's no pathways going in. There's no. There's an open doorway, but the dust is undisturbed past the doorways.
Kind of want to go in, but I don't think we should.
There's two. There's one on the left and one on the right, and they are very dark inside. As Ora and Eskil walk past, you can glimpse in though. They seem pretty. They're bare stone at a glance. One of them has a table in it or something like that, but you're not quite sure as you move past.
is there anything loose on the ground?
Roll a perception check.
You're gonna cast.
Also,
light
was
on
it doors or was it like just doorway? Like
Into the
not
smaller
great.
rooms, they're just opened archways.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
They're just
plan though.
the same carved stone that you've seen in nearly every Salnari tomb.
7.
The floor is quite solid. Dust must be hiding all of those pessy stones.
In that case, I will whip out the wild husk arm, cast light on it, and throw it through a door.
The doorway, the gap in the doorway is like between 2 and 3 inches. Oh, okay.
the
So
one of the side
which one?
rooms.
Left or right?
the one with the table.
What with the
What?
the one with
Table,
the
you
Oh,
say?
there's a table one.
Oh my god!
As you walked past at a glance, one of them seemed to have maybe a table in it. The other one had sort of maybe more, I'd say, just rubble around the
Holy
edges
shit,
of it.
chairs.
I was paying attention to the table. Which one was the table?
On the left.
Yeah.
Going left one.
Okay, you throw the
Wild husk arm.
and as you cast light on that, your sword fades. Eskil's torch taking over. You cast this hand, this paw, Husk's hand. It's just like falling apart now. It's like chopsticks wrapped in parchment at this point.
Delicious.
And you just toss it in. It's like hits the side of this table-like thing. It's like a solid ass table, like solid stone. And it hits, bounces off, and lands on the side. You can see it's a room with bare stone walls. This large desk that seems to cover it, and on the top of this desk are these spherical shapes that seemed set into it, and that's what you can see really. The hands down on the floor now, so it's casting a light up over the table.
How close is everyone else to me?
I think you're all pretty close to each other, aren't you?
Yeah, recently.
I'm still by the door.
Okay, yeah, everyone
we caught up? We
Oh,
haven't.
then Amaya's about 15 feet or so away from you.
I don't want to go any further, so I've sat down and I'm playing noughts and crosses by myself in the dust.
Okay, Amaya sat on the steps just before the door.
Do I see her playing noughts and crosses? Am I close enough?
Yeah, you've got dark vision, you can see.
I'll go up to her and play.
Okay, you guys can then play some noughts and crosses.
Right. Question. I would
Sure,
like
see who wins.
to use thaumaturgy. It's not one of the like specified ones, but I feel like it's close enough to basically a small gust of wind to disturb the dust that's on the floor in the room to basically shift it, and then if anything happens, like we're still far enough away.
I think that's fair enough. You can use it to open doors and windows with a gust of wind, right? So let's imagine that there was a doorway there and you're trying to open it. You send a gust through the room. It stirs the dust in these horizontal sort of vortexes for a brief moment around the walls, and it all clouds up for a brief moment, and Ora's light is like fog. It's like headlamps in a fog. And then after a moment, it settles. Nothing seemed to happen.
I very slowly glance at them, very slowly step off the trodden path.
Onto the dust.
Onto the dust.
Okay.
Oh boy.
No, yeah, it's all good. You walk into the room.
Every fibre of my
Do the
being.
round objects, do they look anything like the runic things that we've seen previously?
You going in? Because at the moment the hand is down on the floor, so it's kind of casting the top of the table in shadow now.
If Ora goes
If I get to the doorway,
and
I'll
he's
light
not
up the sword.
died.
Yeah. Aura steps through.
Light up the sword and take off the.
Okay, and so as you stay, you can see, and Aura, you can see as well that this. So on top of this table-like object is a solid stone tablet of a table, and it has these spheres, like half spheres. Or they could be whole spheres, but they then would be set into the top of the table. There's a large one in the center. There are two others beside it, but they're almost like they've been cut in half vertically. And then around them, there's sort of 16 others placed in a circle.
One big one, two smaller.
Two that have been cut in half either side of it, and then 16 smaller ones in a circle around it.
16 small.
Okay, can I follow him? Like stepping exactly in his footsteps.
Yeah.
Your tiny little feet.
And I'd say actually, but thanks to Sentinel's gust, stirring the dust off of the table, Aura's light is reflecting off this like it's made from glass.
Ooh.
Does it look anything like?
Blow on it again.
Does it look anything like the sort of the geo bubbles?
If you were to, when you on closer, I wouldn't say you'd need to. Where that's like a crude, that would be like a crude rendition of this. Yeah. This is.
So these are sort of worked.
It is absolutely pristine black glass across the whole desk. The spheres, as you hold the sword closer maybe and pass it around the table just to look at them, they're all slightly different colours. They're all made of flawless glass. There's still a little bit of dust on there, but where the majority of it was peeled off.
Is there anything else in the room?
Roll a perception check.
Is there a picture?
Yes.
Where was that?
That's what. So I was looking at that because I wanted to remember what that looked like. But that doesn't look anything like that.
30-20.
That's
nice. The rest of the room is pretty bare. One thing you do notice is that at one side of the table, on the short side, as you're entering, there's a small, there's a hole, like a little divot that's been cut. It reminds you. Actually, no,
I think
it's like a small hole in the side of this table, but there's still a lot of dust everywhere. The gust didn't clear it off. You haven't polished it. You just sort of got most of it off.
Look at it, curiously. Hey, Moxie, have you got that coilstone shard?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Can I borrow it for a moment?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I will take it.
It's very valuable though, so be careful with it.
I will take it and
What you?
put it into the divot on the side of the table.
Okay, who else is in the room now?
I'm in the room.
Have we? Amaya won the knots and crosses. Just
Yeah.
Are you still out there, or have you gone into the room?
I think I've stayed there, but I don't know what Eugene's done.
Because you would have seen them all go in the room and.
Oh
light
yeah, I would
coming
probably
on.
say I think we probably should go in there now. They look like they found something.
It
was a good game, though.
I'm
We
outside.
can play later.
Okay.
Watching, standing guard, like looking
At the door?
I've not gone anywhere near the door. I'm still on the path.
Okay.
So I'm looking to make sure if no one's coming and nothing's moving back to life,
Sure.
or that there's no threat.
Okay. Nice.
You
Proper
sure we don't
bodyguard.
want to talk to this table before?
So you guys, what are you doing?
I'm very, very slowly,
Rather
like,
than doing-
shuffling. Like, I really don't want to go back up there because it was really comfy where I was. So I'm, like, dragging my sword, like...
Yeah.
So why did you use your strategy that you did? You know, where you placed your circles in both corners?
I'm never going to tell you my secrets, Eugene.
Good answer.
Eskiel and Cade stay outside. Cade keeps his distance from you. Eskiel.
Of course he fucking does.
Eskiel sort of takes the other side of the door to you, happy to stand guard with you. And Cade wanders about. Is everyone else in the room then?
No, I'm not in the room yet.
You're making your way over.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
don't wait for me.
Okay.
I'm trying to make a point.
It's fine.
Are you sure we want to do some mysterious magic without knowing what it is? We have the identify
late.
spell.
Did you give him the stone already?
I have given
Yeah.
This beautiful, it's a tiny fragment. It's like a shard of glass. Razor sharp.
I've got tools, I can get it out. It's fine.
It's beautiful. It's like no other stone you've ever seen. It's got that shimmer that Tiger's Eye has, but it seems to move in the light, in the magic of your light, and change colour. You're looking at this. It's still got dust everywhere around this small indent in the side of the table. Everything's still got a bit of dust on it.
Put the stone in.
Okay.
I said it ages ago, so.
He places the stone inside. There's a small moment where nothing happens. And then a little spark comes out where you put the stone. The dust around it ignites like lint, and they're all over the table. The dust ignites and goes out. And then, just as Amaya finally enters the room,
I never said I was entering the room. I said I was shuffling very...
within eye shot of the room then, the spheres shudder and the dust that's remaining, the burnt fragments, jumps ever so slightly with very faint vibrations, and the smaller spheres raise and they elevate above the table, and then the larger sphere in the middle rises up, and the two half spheres either side follow. Dust, the remains of it, falling, cascading from all of them, and the smaller spheres begin circling the central one, and they move faster, and they start spinning, and they look like they're going to collide, and then they don't. They pass almost unbelievably, and then the two half spheres begin turning gently. The middle one begins turning, and like a gyroscope, it all starts moving fluidly, and you can see a small flicker of light around each world, almost like a second border, and then thin threads of light that link all of them, and they move and they tangle around one another, and then they detangle, they intertwine, and then they untie, and it moves all on its own completely silently, and you just watch.
I'm going to go back to something Morag said a while ago. I don't know how... I think I've made the connection. I don't know if Ora would. And based on what she said, could it be the entanglement?
There's a little inspiration dice. Even though it's supposed to be a D... No, it's a D6, isn't it?
Depends how you want to do it.
Well, you gave me a D20 last time.
Because you can do
D20.
it.
Because you said roll advantage for Emmy.
Yeah, you can have D20. That can just be a little symbol of it. And it moves silently. There's no light coming from it other than the faint glow of the aurora. It's almost near silent. There's a very faint vibration.
I will... Does anyone know anything about the entanglement?
I think, Did Morag use that word?
Yeah.
Then it's fine then.
Would I have read anything about it?
Yeah, do you want to
Anyone who's proficient in history can roll a check if they would like.
Cool.
do an Arcana check on this?
You can, yeah. An Arcana check on
the same.
on the machine.
So this is where D&D
One of
Beyond
those
did not do its job properly because I have +0 to history because it's tied to intelligence, but apparently I'm proficient in it.
Oh, you.
Oh, that's why it's 0, because you're -2 to intelligence. So it adds 2. So it is right, it's 0.
I'm not going to roll because I would know.
I got 13 on Arcana.
Yeah, 14.
I got
Is that
14.
on the
machine
itself? 13 and
14.
13 and 14
14 for me.
in history.
Yeah.
Morag, when she spoke about it, the entanglement and other places than the edge.
Sure.
She was from another place.
Yeah. In terms of for the 14, Mike, did you say?
Yeah, 14 for history.
You would remember what Morag said as well. It makes sense that I would say with a 14, you've heard that phrase, the name, the entanglement used, but it would be sort of very archaic, very. It's a phrase that's associated with a sort of esoteric and what's the word?
Cult?
Not a cult, but people who are a bit eccentric.
My kind of people.
Yeah. So,
Could be. Who knows?
D&D hippies.
you've heard that in stories there are other worlds. You've heard of the Syrinx, which is a place where fairies come from, and they whisper stories to kids. But that's probably all.
Those are my favourite kind of
I
stories.
know.
Can I take a note of sort of the colours that are used with the other worlds, essentially, and just take notes on every sort of the details of this sort of one big world, the two halves.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I won't
and
go
the
through
colours,
it all. I won't go through it all now. But if
Yeah.
you spend 10 minutes sketching out the different details of all of them, and
Do they follow the same orbit, essentially?
no, it's
It just all
just incomprehensible, beautiful, like a gyroscope.
Yeah.
It's so hard to follow, and it looks like they should collide, but they don't. And for Arcana, 13 and 14.
You got 14 as well, didn't you?
On Arcana.
Yes.
Not history.
Oh.
You've never seen anything like this. In terms of your knowledge of the way that arcane machines work, it's probably as limited to shard work. Any shard work that you know about uses up the coil stone, and this one doesn't emanate any heat, doesn't emanate any sound. You've also never seen one that's made of glass. It's always got lots of different components that have been carved by artificers, and this seems to be this pristine, self-contained thing.
Are we gonna... I want to take all the elements when we leave.
If there's,
Wait, as in all of the pieces?
I really want to.
You're gonna try and take them now?
One, but I don't want to do.
At the moment, it'd be hard push to grab one because they're moving in such unpredictable ways. You'd have to really try to grab one.
I think Eugene would try as well, actually.
Let's do it.
You're gonna try and grab one. You're gonna go
I'll grab one of the small ones.
because the central one is just turning, and the two around it are turning with it, like this. This is the half worlds. But then these smaller ones, the 16, are like this.
Is there a way to, I know I'm not in the room, but is there a way to power it off or take that coilstone shard out?
Maybe.
Because then you at least get to keep the coilstone shard, which is really valuable.
We took this one out of the silence, enchantment, no problem. So.
And that way you'd actually be able to grab it without it causing issues, and then you could take all of them.
Can I try and take it? Are you done? Do you want to look at it any longer?
How long have we been in the room?
Well, Aura's taking 10 to.
Yeah, because I would probably want to take
down.
10 just to watch and maybe make notes of
Sure.
the
that's fine.
potential orbits and stuff.
I'll
You
send
said
you
they're quite
guys
sort of
some
irregular,
notes.
yeah.
Can I attempt to depower it?
You can. What are you gonna do?
Try and take the coil shard out.
Yeah, you take it out. It's cold, and they stop spinning, they slow down, they move back to their respective places, and then they gently...
Can I grab one before it settles?
You can try. Roll an attack.
Why do we keep trying to touch stuff tonight?
Like you're trying
Can
to
I just say
grapple this
Eugene
object.
would, but he knows that he's not going to catch it. It's just almost like, putting your hand up to like a project. If you're like like a planetarium type thing, and you want to sort of reach out. You're not going to grab anything, but he knows, but he still wants to reach out.
Just to touch it.
So I'm not going to roll anything, but he puts his hand up, but he knows he's not going to grab anything.
Yeah. What do? You just touch it?
Yeah, just touch it. He knows he's not going to grab anything.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a very smooth surface, glass.
Yeah. He's not like trying to catch it. He's just like
brushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's perfectly polished in every way, and you leave a little finger mark on it.
The actual sort of.
Oh, the table.
Oh, so is that what you mean?
I was talking about the sphere.
Oh yeah, that's fine, Dory.
But yeah,
that's fine.
either one. They're both
whatever.
made of perfectly pristine glass.
Yeah, that could be that.
Natural 20.
Okay, you grab it. It is still moving down, and you've probably got 5 to 6 seconds, surprisingly, before it will hit and put itself back in place. And as you grapple it and grab it, it slows and stops and holds there. You're just sort of holding it now above where it should go, the divot where it goes.
I try to pull it towards me.
Roll an athletics check. What's your strength, actually?
It is 16 plus 3.
Okay, I don't think that it's possible, so I won't make you roll.
Maybe if we talk to the table, we could ask it nicely.
Please
As
let me
you
take your gem.
the moment you grab it, you know this thing's not moving.
Wouldn't this be?
You can roll if you
to talk
like.
to?
But
Okay.
what's it?
What are we saving the spell for?
I mean, what would we ask?
Like who made it? What is the entanglement?
Where did you come from?
Where did you go?
But it's an object. Would the object know what the entanglement is? It would probably be able to tell who made it.
It can answer basic questions about its history, past owners, and I will double check the last.
I mean, what I would say is, if we see any type of furniture from here on out, we're going to just go, should we ask this? We may as well ask this.
It's origin.
Cool. I would say just get out of the way.
I just like
cool.
Because I just say because the only reason I'm holding off on it is can't you copy it down?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And then we could keep it, and then if we actually need it for something else, if it's been put there, if Charlie's put it there specifically,
Get rid of it.
that's the only reason. As soon as Will's like copied it down and put it in his spellbook, and he can cast it however and whenever he wants.
So who the fuck is Will?
Whenever Moxie does that, then we can cast it on everything and anything.
Alright.
But
Does Moxie or yourself say that? Like, would you Moxie or
If I see like getting the scroll, I would probably say we.
I wouldn't know because I'm not looking.
That's fair. No, that's fair enough. I'm just like, would you say that out loud?
If I saw you, as long as I didn't see you like doing it secretly, like on your own.
Yeah, that's fine. Then I would probably agree with you.
I could maybe like write it down in my book when we get some time, and then we could ask every bar in the land.
You would also know that it would cost, because it's a level 3 enchantment, it would cost you 300 gold.
Ooh, that would also. That's but that it'd be like messily. It would be like a few levels before I could do that. Anyway, it's level 3, so.
I mean, you can do it now if you want.
I think you can cast you can cast scrolls that are higher level than you.
Yeah,
I think.
can cast them,
I can't
but you
copy
can't
it.
copy it.
I would be able to copy it.
But yeah, if you said it, Eugene would nod and agree.
Sorry, I was trying to do that really stealthily.
Yeah, so the cost stand, obviously, it's a level 3 spell. So
All right, fine.
Sorry
But we
to
didn't-
ruin everyone's
No,
fun.
I would say Eugene would agree.
I'll let the thing go. What do the two half ones look like? Is there a colour with them?
yeah, one of them is pitch black obsidian, and the other one is a more pearl-like colour.
Does it look like the edge?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I mean, if you're in roll, what did you roll on your initial perception check? Actually, roll another perception check.
Initial perception was dirty 20.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, everything's still quite covered in dust. But if you're in there for 10 minutes, I won't make you roll. You can see on the central piece there is a mark on it that is a black dot somewhere on the side. It's one of the only blemishes.
I'll point that out to whoever's there, and just the edge was there when this was made as well.
In fact, you would probably know if you're there for 10 minutes. This looks like it was something that was made afterwards. It's like a stain.
Yeah.
While he's been doing that, can I go and look in the other room? Just a glance.
Yeah. You just walk in, or are you just looking in through the doorway?
Start looking in through the doorway.
Sure. It's a similar size nook. There are what used to be old wooden shelves that once lined the walls. They've all dried and rotted away and collapsed in places. There is a body on the floor, no more than bones in a tunic at this point, and they rest in a fetal position. And besides them are this remains of a long withered chair and this flat surface of a table. The legs have collapsed and it's just on the floor.
Can
What
I
is it
go?
like tables?
Can I go in towards the body?
Yeah.
Is it holding anything? Like it's in a fetal position? Is it cradling anything or?
Roll a perception check.
Natural 19, so
Nice.
a filthy 20.
No, it's not holding anything, but
Filthy.
its wraps have got some blood on them. It's very old.
Wait, does it look like violence?
If you were to sort of nudge and look around, it's very coiled up like this.
I'd move it. With my rapier, I wouldn't touch it.
Sure, it has a knife, a very old rusted knife.
And I was like, one nut stayed. Just
got
one of
one
its
nut.
nuts.
Has a knife in its side. It's still wedged in one of its ribs, and it has one hand around the hilt, and the other one's sort of clutched up here. His knees are up.
Can I open its hand that's clutched?
Sure. I mean, it just breaks.
Is
It's
it
just
holding
bones.
anything?
No. It was just pressed up against his chest.
Is there any paperwork or anything, or is there anything else in this room that looks of interest that we might?
Are you going to search around it?
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check, please.
If we're here like a while, can I just do a ritual detect magic?
Absolutely. Yeah, I will say like what you over the 10 minutes that Aura's and Eugene and Ora are making notes about the table. This is what Sentinel's doing. You're going to cast detect magic. Okay.
15 for investigation.
Okay. Searching around the room, everything's just withered and old and busted, and you go to open one of the cupboards and it's just falls apart in your hands. But then just as you're about to leave the room, you take a look under the table. It's just a long piece of wood at this point. You lift it up, and underneath the collapsed legs is a wrap of leather.
Gonna pull it towards me.
Yeah. No problem.
Open it up.
It is an ancient book in Old Common.
What is the? I love the old.
Ye olde
Ye
common.
oldie what?
The title is The Folly of Chrysylum, spelled C-R-I-S.
Hang on. The folly of. Spell it for me, babe.
C-R-I-S-Y-L-U-M.
S-Y-L. Chrysylum.
And it looks in relatively decent condition considering the rest of the room. It seems like the leather did a good job.
Nice. Good job, leather. Pat the leather.
Okay. Anyone else? 10 minutes?
I'm just kind of like standing, like looking in one doorway and then getting disinterested and looking in the other doorway
Okay.
and getting a little bit disinterested and going back to the first
Last
one.
thing was the knife of any.
Oh no, it's an old rusted thing.
It's an old
Yeah.
Sorry. I tried to. Never mind. God's sake.
YouTube notes.
You complete the ritual cast.
And it just opened.
As you glance around, are you still in the room with the table, with the Ori? That is absolutely
No, the
magical.
aura. Sorry.
In fact, it's the magic from it is slowly fading with the coil stone, almost like if you had heat vision, it was slowly cooling down. So where the coil stone was removed, it's still got a faint glow of magic.
What's type?
Faint.
It would be enchantment, and there doesn't appear to be anything else. There's a small. No, there's nothing else. No.
Okay, it lasts 10 minutes, so can I wander into around into the other room?
Sure. You see, wandering around, there's not really anything magical in this place. One thing catches your eye, and I'll say this is sort of like you did your 10 minutes and you're sort of wandering for a couple of minutes, yeah? A couple of the statues seem to have very faint wisps of enchantment about them as well. It's very faint.
Interesting. Are they visibly different to the ones around them?
At a glance, no.
Okay.
In fact, it doesn't look necessarily like the statues, but maybe the space behind them.
Can I call over, would be good, Eugene? And peek behind the statues? I'm getting a glimmer or something behind these.
Something magical.
Something magical.
Well, do you know what kind of magic?
Enchantment, I think.
Interesting. So yeah, go with you.
Okay. One of the statues in particular has a slight, more of a glow to the mold behind it. So as you approach, you notice that a few of them have this sort of space behind them, and this one in particular, it's a more perfectly carved hollow. like a mold for that statue, in particular. But you're looking around it, I guess, trying to look in.
Yeah. Can I pinpoint where the magic is coming from?
Sure. It seems to be just coming from the floor at the very base of that mold, and rising up like smoke.
There's not anything specific.
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
It's like that area itself.
Touch the tree.
Taste.
I want to touch the tree. I want to touch the butt.
As you look around the statue, you can see that statue itself actually has another face on the back of it.
Oh.
Like Professor Quirrell style.
Do the ones around it have faces on the back?
No. This one, the head is behind it is bowed, and its hands are covering its face in prayer, up against its nose. So it's a face, and it has another set of arms coming out, and its hands are up.
How many statues are there?
There's a lot. Every wall basically
Specifically.
has statues in front of it.
Eugene, I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
Would it be a similar number to a certain number of gods?
No, there's loads of them. There's loads.
Okay, fair enough.
Over 20.
Do you think this is some sort of protection spell for this place?
You know it's enchantment.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry.
That's all right.
But around the base of it.
Yeah, where the mold behind it is.
Right. I don't know what to do with this
Am I aware of what they're doing? Because I've just been stood in the middle, just watching people go past.
Roll. Your passive is 21, right? And what were you saying?
Have I seen Eugene and Freya?
Yeah, you
by
can
the
see them.
statue?
They're actually relatively close to the door. So if you're looking at the doorway, they're to the right of it, and one of the statues to the right, and they
Right.
seem to be interested in something.
Can I go over because I am now interested in
Absolutely.
what they're doing?
Is the other one in the exact same position on the other side?
There is
that's
a
pretty
statue the other side. Yeah.
Do that have the enchantment magic?
Yes.
I could try to ascertain what that magic is if we have 10 minutes.
Do you want me to move the statue?
I wouldn't touch it at the moment.
Would it move? Does it have dust around it? The bottom.
Like, do I know that, would I be made aware that there's, magic around the bottom of it?
Well, we've pointed it out.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, because if it's coming from the bottom, maybe there's something underneath.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming from the bottom of, behind it.
Yeah, so move it.
You say it's underneath, the mould, or is it?
It's underneath where the mould in the wall is, so, the inlet behind the statue. It's at the base of that. And roll an investigation check, because you're asking, if it... What is it you asked? I thought to myself, just roll an investigation check, and then I forgot.
About the other one on the other side.
Also magic.
You said something before that.
Matching position.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry then. I forgot.
Oh no!
There was,
What was
you
it?
can roll an investigation check if you
Is there
want.
dust around the bottom of
Okay,
it?
yeah. Roll an investigation
Does
check.
it look like it moves?
I would say, yeah. You don't have to roll for that. It looks like there are some very faint grooves behind it.
Oh, that's very good. Cool.
Help me move it.
Cool, I'm going to help Freya move the statue.
Which one are you pushing, the left or the right?
Oh god, do they look different or are they the exact same?
They look the same.
Do they both have the double heads?
Mm-hmm.
And the double hands?
Mm-hmm.
Flip
Do we
coin.
do them at the same time?
Sure.
Yeah?
I mean, it could be some sort of simultaneous
grab,
movement that sets it off, yeah.
I'll grab a skill, get him to help me with one.
As you go over, Cade is talking to him, and he's mumbling about, this is too dangerous, and it shouldn't be down here, this is insane. And Esquil's like, what's up, Ora?
You got a minute for give me a hand with something?
Can you give me 2?
I give you one. Sorry.
Sorry, mate, I'll be over in 2. Just, I want to make sure that this is nipped in the bud before we go any further.
Sure. I'll just take 2 steps back and just stand and wait.
What is everyone? I know your passive perception, but you are distracted, so I'm at a disadvantage that, which is -3, I think. To
I said to Freya, should we do this at the same time?
But you walked over to Esquil, who is
to ask him if
yeah. So
I'm hoping Freya would wait until I come back to.
But you looked like you wanted to listen, so I would say the only.
No, I didn't. Okay. What I was gonna say is, after I'm done, I want to go back to near where I would have gone back to near where Esquil and Cade are.
Okay.
Because I probably not a secret by this point. I'm still kind of keeping tabs on Cade.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. So you would have heard. So Sentinel's probably the only person that would have heard that conversation then, and he's like, "Can I be over in 2 minutes, mate? Sorry."
Yeah, I'll just take 2 steps back and I'll just stand and lean against the wall and wait.
Okay. In terms of light spells, you've got the sword.
Yeah.
Esquil's got a torch.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
I mean,
I'm just waiting for it to
and
ready.
you can probably move on your own.
Oh, if he sees you go, okay, he's like, all right.
He's so easily persuaded. He's got no fucking.
He looks at the 2 people around him now. He's like, looks at Cade. We'll pick this up later.
We're basically all watching this.
Yeah.
Can I, as I walk over to the other statue with Cade, not Cade, Esquil.
Yeah, Esquil will come with you, and he's dismissing Cade.
I'm gonna cast a message to Esquil and ask him what's going on.
I fully imagine that is the face that Esquil will like, excuse me?
Star looks a little startled for a moment. He's like,
Oh fuck.
It's just Cade being Cade, and I'm trying not to get any of us stabbed.
I'm just sort of going to glance back and sort of, as I position myself by the statue, I'm going to cast message again. This time on Cade.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, that's not concentration. Ignore me.
No. And just say, eyes are watching.
I'm fully stood behind him I don't know this is happening.
He doesn't.
But you're just like.
He doesn't react. He just looks at you, and makes eye contact.
I'm just doing a sort of.
And then he
casual glance to cast it while.
Yeah. He wanders off. He goes into the room that Sentinel found the book,
If I see Sentinel watching, I'll just message and say, watch Cade.
Like I was doing anything else.
Okay, so what's going on with statues?
Well, we're going to move them on a count of 3.
Yeah.
Who's pushing?
I can try, but it's not my speciality moving
I'm
things, but why
helping
not?
Amaya.
Okay.
On the left one? Which one were we at? Left
I
one?
can't.
Yeah, you're the left one.
You guys on the left,
yeah.
so
I've got a skill
Or a
helping me on the
skill.
right.
Skill on the right with you.
I'll help these two, but I'm not actually going to be pushing. I'm just there. You know how
Moral
sometimes
support.
there's always
Pushing the
one
other direction.
person when you carry something. It's not actually doing anything, but it's just like holding on.
I cast guidance on myself.
Well
can
done
do.
for remembering.
So you're both going to roll then.
Yeah.
And for
But I'm just
athletics
just
check,
there,
you don't have to
no, I'm
roll, it's
nodding.
fine. Moral support.
Yeah.
And you can roll with
Do you
advantage.
say athletics?
Yes, please. Athletics checks.
+4.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is going to be a 24.
Oh,
Very nice.
worth. Oh, worth.
That's an 8.
Oh,
Do you
nice.
have nothing? What are you doing?
You two are on the same one
it's a
though,
9.
right?
It's a 9. That's important.
Okay.
Oh boy, I was the
14.
best person to help.
So the left one immediately starts shifting forward and quickly followed by the right one. And they move relatively easily and almost silently, and then they hit the back of the molds, and just as silently the doorway swings open.
Oh yeah.
Knock, knock.
What do you guys do?
Punch.
I almost make
face.
or make a noise, almost like I've just physically exerted myself. That sort of thing.
I pat you on the head and like, well done, you two.
Love
We
you
see
so
where
much,
the
Eugene.
fire came, where the firelight was coming from.
Yeah, down the stairs, probably about 40 or so feet, there is, so you're going to look down.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Freya takes a look through. You see a long staircase, and all the way down the bottom, about 30 or 40 feet away, there is a small sort of pail of embers and a handful of husks kneeling in front of it, completely motionless.
Quick point of order. This is just for you, I'm not saying things aloud. Having seen slight altercation and being told eyes on, I'm actively listening if Cade and Iskiel start bickering again.
Okay,
So if they start bickering,
sure. Cade's staying in the room for now, in the room on the right where you found the book.
I've like galloped over to Freya and then like skidded to a halt and she's gone like, show me up.
Well,
Faint breeze blows through.
is one of them the one that spoke to us?
It's hard to tell. They're all in rags.
Because where else would it have gone?
How did
going
it
down, is there a way
get
out of
through
the room?
there?
Yeah, how would it? There must be another
Do
way.
we just sneak around? Is there like another door in there in that room?
At the bottom,
Yeah.
you can't see yet.
These husks look corrupted or just like normal husks?
You're still pretty far away, 30 or 40 feet. So it's. Oh no, I mean they're in front of a fire. So I would.
Also,
From this distance, they look potentially half corrupted. Like they don't look like the gnarled ones that you've fought, but they also look a little different to the docile ones. A couple of roots maybe around on their neck, like coming out the back, but they stay in a prayer position with their head bowed, kneeling around this fire.
Safety
There are. There are 8 of them.
First, and just look at Sentinel. I've seen her use ranged spells before.
There are 8 of them.
Oh no.
I could chaos bolt this
You
long.
say that they look like they were
I can-
praying.
Yes.
I wouldn't attack them.
think we
I wasn't going
I
to
think
attack
we just
them.
skirt around the edge really quietly, like.
Well, what I was gonna try was seeing if they would react to anything.
Yeah, I was thinking that makes one noise.
So yeah, well, I was gonna start with using thaumaturgy to like fan the flames a bit because I can cause flames to flicker bright and dim or change colour for 1 minute. So I would get the embers I want to brighten and see and like maybe pop a little bit because I can have up to 3 1-minute effects.
Sure.
So I want to, centered on that centre bit where they are, flare up and pop a little bit so it's a bit more noise. Do they react to that?
Sure. So, Sentinel mutters a few words, reaches out, and seems to manipulate something in the air. And in that moment, the light is ever so slightly brighter. You hear crackles like a fireplace igniting with slightly wet wood. And they don't react.
Is there anything similar range? Because this is only a 30-foot range, so it also would have moved to...
So you step down a few steps.
Yeah. Is there anything else within that range that could be knocked over or could be like thrown open to make a loud noise?
You don't. You can't see any doorways down there yet. It's you. So as you look down, it's this clear set of stairs. There's no like candelabras or anything on the.
Cast your voice.
Wait, well, I'm not going to cast my voice from where we are, but what I am going to do is I can create an instantaneous sound. So from the other side of the room, like not where we are, so that they wouldn't look towards us if they were turning, like a boom of, like, I mean, yeah, I know that gives some specifics, but like a boom or like a crack of something that would, if you heard it, you'd move, like if something fell, like
like a knocking of something falling off a shelf, and you send that noise in the room with them.
Yes.
Yeah, a loud, like the sound of a wooden cup falling onto a stone floor. They don't react.
They seem pretty docile. If we stay quiet and around the side of them, we might be all right. Do you want to send Ansel around to see if there's an exit so we don't even have to disturb them?
Did I fly through this bit?
You saw the firelight, and now you're looking at these, you recognise in a flash, maybe you soared down this staircase and then you went into the ground.
Right.
So this is one of the last things you saw before you went into the ground.
Because I'd rather have our escape route planned.
Where is everyone? So you're now like sort of top of the stairs. Are you guys all just looking down the stairs at the husks and things?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you two would sort of be towards the front with this, but...
Okay, so you guys are all at the top of the stairs. You deduce that they're not reacting to these sounds and lights.
I think we should go really, really quickly because there's something that's telling me that we're taking too long.
Freya, okay, I know your passive is 24. What's everyone else's?
11.
13.
9.
Okay.
Oh my god, Kay's gonna fucking stab someone.
Everyone? Anyone else passive perception, guys?
Oh, like 11.
I think it's 11.
Okay. I would say towards the end of these experiments with the husks, Freya, you hear a sound from behind, a murmuring. Cade and Esquil are between the two buildings in the inside. Cade has got the torch and he's like pointing at something and some of the statues. And he looks round at you. And then he looks at Esquil. And Esquil's like puzzled looks over at you. Cade puts out the torch with his bare hands.
Oh no!
Good job, that sword's lit up.
And takes 5 points of fire damage.
Does he look like he takes some of it?
Anyone with dark vision, so all of you guys, can see that about 40 or 50 feet away from you, in the dim light,
Wait,
Cade
can we react?
stabs.
No! Can we react?
In turn, he puts out the torch with his bare hands.
He's fucking
Esquil steps back. Cade, actually, I've got to roll for this.
You do have to roll for this, you motherfucker.
He misses.
That's a 17.
No, he doesn't miss.
He takes a step round and he stabs Esquil straight down into the side of his shoulder and rips the dagger down and kicks him to the floor. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.